Welcome to Golden Drop, everybody. I'm super happy to share this space with you today. Our topic is going to be on yoga essential oils. What essential oils can you use in yoga, and why would you even want to use essential oils in yoga practice? So this has been a topic of conversation. Many people have been asking, hey, how do I do this? Why would I do it? And so instead of doing something surrounding environmental threats today, I decided to change it up and do something for self-care. So we're going to talk about these essential oils. This is not a prescription or a diagnosis. It's simply what I've found really helpful in my own yoga practice, along with the research and study on an emotional release that you can do for these beautiful essential oils. So get your questions ready and have those, start typing those into the chat. For those of you who are joining us on replay, go ahead and drop your questions below, or if you're using them already for your practice, for meditation, for your yoga, and if you're an instructor, share with them what you're doing below, because I really want to hear and see what you guys are doing. So it's always helpful. Let's get started right now. So again, drop those ideas below. If you're on replay, if you're here, put your ideas and your thoughts of what you're doing for your yoga and thought and meditation into the chat. Or if you have a question, put that into the chat and Renee will grab that and we'll answer that. So doTERRA came out with a beautiful essential oil collection called the Yoga Collection, and it was inspired by Elena Brower out of New York City. And she did a beautiful presentation on those essential oils, and the ingredients in these oils are all very much in alignment on an emotional level, as well as a spiritual connection, really that enlightening piece, anchoring, and really getting people centered and aligned. So we're going to talk about those first, and then I'm going to give you some other ideas of some beautiful products you might want to be able to use for this process as well. So with that said, let's go ahead and get started. So steadying, we want to anchor and steady ourselves when we are doing our practice. And so one of my favorites to start off with is Anchor, of course. It's the first essential oil in this yoga collection, and Renee has those. She'll show you those one at a time. So Renee, if you want to grab that Anchor and then read for us what essential oils go in that blend, that would be great, because all of them are centered around anchoring and grounding the body, getting more in touch with the earth, and we'll talk about that. So Renee, do you have that handy?
I do. I was just waiting for you. So here's Anchor. And it has lavender, cedarwood, frankincense, cinnamon bark, sandalwood, pepper, and it looks like that's it.
Okay. And what's interesting is the grounding essential oils are sandalwood, frankincense, myrrh, and cedarwood. Those are your best anchoring, really going to ground you kind of essential oils that are really, really going to help you just shut off the rest of the world, right? And get yourself centered so that you can, a lot of times it's really, really difficult we want to escape, right? Mentally, we want to escape. And peppermint does that for people all the time. It's a really good one for people who have an addiction tendency, because it just kind of helps you escape reality, and it helps you kind of leave your body. And so when people are asked to come back into their body and be present in their body, it can be very difficult and very challenging. In fact, when I started yoga, I will tell you, for 6 months, I felt like a whale. And I tell everybody, you might not like yoga for 6 months or more, but I promise you, as you learn to connect with your body, to learn to stretch your body and lean into, oh, that's really tight, and ask the questions of, why is that tight? Where am I holding my stress? You just become much more aware of where you are, why you're there, and what might need to shift for you. And there's nothing better than to going into a stretch, and then finding more space for a deeper stretch. And so, especially as we get older, it's really, really important to be able to hold the space for strengthening those muscles around those bones. And that yoga really does that. So I highly encourage, if you love to beat the drum and, get really, really, really like grind it and kill it in the gym, in your 20s, right, and 30s, I would invite you to also bring in a space for being calm and quiet. Kill it on another time, but learn to get centered, because it will serve you a lot more in your home, in the way you operate on a day-to-day basis, and it will also help you be able to make decisions. It's really crazy. Sometimes things come to me while I'm doing yoga that normally wouldn't, and it's because I'm taking time. So sandalwood, frankincense, myrrh, cedarwood are all really good grounding essential oils, and Anchor is going to be that steadying factor. And the way you apply it is you're going to put it on the bottom of your feet. You can put it on your wrists. I love to swipe under the nose for breathing it if you like the smell. If not, put it on the forehead and the back of the neck. Some of you may be very inspired to put it over your heart. You need to be able to determine. I usually go in every single session using peace or console over my heart. I love those every day. They just really help me kind of get it together. And so I love those. So we're going to move in from grounding into energy. And a lot of people want to know, well, do I put these on all at once? It's really hard to stop your practice and put on an essential oil later. So here's what I recommend doing. We're going to go through this process of grounding, and then you move into alignment. So grounding, I love the bottom of the feet because it helps root. The back, if you put it on your sacrum too, that's like where your root chakra is, just below that in the perineum area. And, not very many people are going to be hardcore oilers and put an essential oil on their perineum. So for women and, at the base of the scrotum for men, there are just very few people are going to do that. So let's be real. And we can put it on the sacrum, which is that lower back area. So that will also help ground when you're sitting and help you keep your spine a little bit more erect. So that's how you're going to use Anchor to steady you. So the next one would be align. We're going to center, we're going to have flow, we're going to have energy, and I'm going to have Renee read that. And I'll tell you where to apply that at the beginning of your practice as well.
Okay, so here's the line. And we have fractionated coconut oil, citrus, which is bergamot in there. We have coriander, marjoram, peppermint, geranium, basil, rose, and jasmine.
Perfect. So at this space, we're wanting to calm the body. We also want to energize the body so we can have flow, we can be centered, and we want that positivity, right? So all of these kind of, take space. And the best place to put this essential oil is actually the sacrum, the back of the neck, right? And again, you can put it right over the forehead. Those are the best spaces I have found to really create that energy flow that you want. Some people really love it over their stomach. So these are things that you can do right before you leave, or you can take them and share them with your friends in your yoga class because it's really nice. If you don't go to a yoga class, you can always do yoga on YouTube. Just pull up, I want to do a meditation. You can do apps for that, but you can always find someone on YouTube who's really good at doing yoga. I know I love Camden Hoke. She's getting ready to do a series. I love Andrea Marcum, Marcum is how you spell her last name. And she wrote the book Close to Om, which is fantastic. I highly recommend that book to anybody who wants to learn about their body and learn to get more centered and create more energy space for other productive things in your life. So I highly recommend that. So this energy flow is very important, and the other essential oils, which Renee read almost every single one of them are peppermint, eucalyptus, and rosemary are all really good. Lavender, geranium, and chamomile are also really helpful. Bergamot, lemon, and orange, wild orange, are also going to be really, really helpful in that. And then I have a little bit different of a take on this for that enlightening piece as we're getting to launch. But those essential oils for that connection, that connection on a mental level, would be like neroli and rose and jasmine and ylang ylang. Those are all really, really good. Again, when you're wanting that connection, you're wanting it up at the base of the neck, right? So applying it back to the back of the neck, again up here, are going to be really good spots to be able to do that. And those essential oils are really more for that ending piece, that very connected shavasana, which is what we're moving into next. So we're going to talk about that. But that center and alignment helps you stay grounded. So you'll notice when you use essential oils and you go into tree pose, for example, tree pose, you might only be able to get that resting foot, right? You have a planted foot and then you bring one foot up. Sometimes it'll be just where your toes are touching the earth and balanced against your ankle. And then sometimes you can raise it and you can go to your calf. Sometimes if you're a little bit more stable and you get more balance, you can do it where you have one foot above your knee, right? Not on your knee, but above your knee. And then really, really good balancing is where you have it clear up underneath your crotch at the top of your thigh. And you'll see that when you have those balancing poses, these essential oils like balance are going to really come into play to really help ground you and help you have more center. So the Align is a really great essential oil in bringing that together, creating that energy flow and helping you move into a sauna, you know, right? Going into the when you're going to into your sun salutations and warrior and you're moving into that movement piece, it'll help you get that into that space. And then as we close up shop, we have Shavasana. That's where we're kind of coming down. And the essential oils you're going to use for that, again, I want to repeat, you put these all on the beginning of your practice, but they all engage as you move into these different postures and different stretches and different movements when you're doing yoga. So Renee's going to read what we do for a rise.
All right, so here is a rise. It has fractionated coconut oil, lemon, grapefruit, Siberian fir, and Melissa.
All beautiful essential oils. It's actually my very favorite of all of the yoga oils. It's the one I'm the most addicted to. And it's going to bring you into that spiritual awareness. Again, like I said, you know, isn't it a beautiful collection? I just love this collection. You're going to get into that more connected piece, and you're going to rise, be high and vibrant, and you're going to be able to just take on that space. Wrist points are good for that. You'll want to put it on those wrist points. You can put it on your temples. You want to be a little careful with this because of the citrus oils. They don't really like to see the sun because they're, you know, they're photosensitive. So we want to be able to make sure you put it at the back of your neck, in your hairline, and those are my favorite spots to put that. Okay. And again, I'm going to repeat, there's actually, so when you're doing this, you really want to make sure you just apply. We're going to go through this again. Anchor the bottom of the feet, the back of the sacrum, you know, which is that lower back piece, back of the neck, and swipe your forehead. You can also do under your nose or your heart. Those are also places that'll help you get centered. For energy and flow, centering with that alignment, with the essential oil Align, you're going to be applying that to the back, the lower back in that sacrum area, the back of the neck, right? So that you can get that movement. Again, you can swipe the forehead. And again, some people really like to put it over the heart. So you're going to know where you want to put your essential oils. And then lastly, we're going to use Arise, which is this enlightening piece, and it's going to move you into this next space of arising and getting on with your day, bringing in Shavasana, and you're going to apply that one, like I said, to the back of the neck, and where in the hairline is best. hairline right here at the temples. And the reason why I say hairline is because your hair is going to cover it from the sun and it's not going to be so sensitive. And then you can always put it in the palm of your hands, rub it together, breathe in. This is also a good one if you're a teacher to put on the towels. If you like to wrap your students' feet in towels, warm towels that are really warm. Not very many yoga studios do this, but it's gorgeous. This is a really great essential oil to do that with because it's tingly. It really brings this comforting peace, and it really, when you apply it to the bottom of the feet like this, it just helps you move forward. So that's a little trick for our yoga teachers out there who might be able to have the space to do this with. So another good one for that, if you don't have these oils and you're like, oh, I don't have that, but you have this beautiful Litsea is a good one, and lemongrass also for that, for wrapping the feet. I'll tell you one that my friend Nancy does that I love. She will go around every single one of her students and she applies Breathe right here between the eyes on the forehead, and then she has it in her hands and she puts her hands over the nose of each one of us as we're in Shavasana. So that means you're covered with a blanket, you're laying in, it's corpse, so you're laying like a dead person with your eyes closed, and oftentimes you'll have an eye pillow on. It's really your time to just sit and be still. And so she rubs it right here between the eyes, like I said, and then we'll let you breathe it in through her hands. She just rubs it, kind of waves it over your nose. And that one's really interesting because that, again, is about flow. And that one is good for Breathe, is really wonderful if you've got a lot on your plate and you're trying to focus on a project. It really helps the thoughts flow and get your words out onto the paper or onto the computer, whatever project you're working on. It's really brilliant. Breathe is a good essential oil for any kind of sport, yoga, heavy duty athletics. It's just a really great essential oil. So that is what I have to share. I'm going to open up the rest of the time to you guys before we close up. So share away. No questions, no thoughts? All right. Well, I want to thank every single one of you for being here with us today. Thank you for anybody who's doing our replay. We love having you here. We'd love to hear from you, so drop your comments below. How are you using essential oils in your yoga practice? Have you ever had questions about, well, I'm not really sure about yoga? Oftentimes people get caught up in yoga thinking it's a spiritual practice, and it's not. It actually just brings you very centered to your soul and helps you rediscover some really beautiful things about yourself. So I highly recommend it. And I'm so glad, Jody, that you loved it. Thank you so much for being here. I know that you're all busy. Have a beautiful day and pay it forward. Share these essential oils, share these replays, invite people to this call. It's free to anybody. We love having you here. We love sharing our knowledge and our experiences. And again, if you're on the replay, drop any questions or comments below. We'd love to have them. And we're grateful for your time. We'll see you guys.